fam bam, Ashley Elizabeth here with AHM Artistry, and welcome to the promised eye tutorial using the Face Candy ATLANTIS palette from the Shop Hush app. I've been doing some videos all about Shop Hush, and I just did the eye swatch video on this in case you didn't see it. So now it's time for the promised eye tutorial, and we are testing this out for the very first time on my eyes other than the eye swatches. So you're gonna see what's that all about. Is there a lot of fallout? Is there blendability? Is there patchiness? Everything under the sun. And yes, we are recreating this specific eye look. I already filmed this part, so now I'm just telling you about that. So yeah. All right, that is it for the intro. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Pun intended, dive. All right, all zoomed in, up close and personal, so you guys can see each and every step that we do here. Now, I did my eyebrows because I like doing my eyebrows before my eyeshadow, so I went ahead and did that. As you can see, I haven't done any of my foundation or anything like that. I'm just bare face right now besides the brows. And if you saw my swatch video, then you would have seen why, but in case you didn't, I'll fill you in. Some of these shadows have a lot of fallout, like a lot. So we're gonna solve that problem by not even putting our face stuff on yet. So that's what I recommend to you. Start with your eyes and wipe away whatever fallout there is, and then go in with the face and you'll be just fine. Starting with the Frankie Rose I Promise Eye Primer. I've talked about this a lot, but basically it is a dupe for the MAC paint pots, and it is cruelty free, where MAC Cosmetics is not. So if you're looking for a good alternative to that, this one comes in, I think, 4 different shades, maybe 3, light, medium, and dark. I'm not sure if there's one more. And then I'm just gonna, you know, carve out underneath my brows a little bit and go ahead and prime the whole lid. I did notice using this palette, you definitely need to use a eye primer of some sort. At the very least, using concealer will work fine, but you definitely need something to help some of the pigments adhere. Some of them work fine on bare skin, but for the most part, they need primer. Both lids are all prepped. So now I'm not gonna go and set the entire lid with powder. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with white caps in this palette. It's palette. I'm gonna start with white caps in this palette, which is the white shade. And you tap some of that off. See that? It's a little dusty, but that's okay, it's workable. I don't wanna set all the primer on my eyelid because sometimes that takes away from the pigment sticking to the lid, and I want as much stick as possible. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do right now. Just the brow bone right here, gently sweeping in like quick stuttered motions. And then blending up there will be a little bit smoother and not as patchy. And then right down here. And then same thing right on the other side, obviously. Easy peasy. And now we're gonna go in with some transition shades. So I'm gonna grab my fluffy brush. This white brush is just stained. It's clean, it's just stained. And with staining being said, I was playing with this palette the other day and some of my white brushes are stained blue now, but that's okay. Let's go in with, I think I'm gonna do, well, you guys have already seen it, but I haven't yet. I'm gonna go in with blue on the top and green on the bottom, but I'm not gonna do the green on the bottom yet. I'm gonna go in with Ripples first, which is this shade right here. So I'm gonna tap that. And if you remember from my swatch video, not swirling, just tapping because it is extremely powdery. Word of the day, powdery. So let's see how many times I say that. And then very gently go into the crease and blend. Blend around that transition shade. Oh yeah, she's getting good pigment on that one. That's a light shade too. I'm being very careful with this palette right now because it's the first time I'm really doing a full eye look, and I don't know how, you know, if it's gonna be patchy at all or anything crazy, so be a little gentle on the first eye till I get used to this kind of formula, I guess. Like once it's stuck to the primer, then it starts blending out really nicely. So kind of gently putting it in and then lightly blending it out. And then you can start sweeping around. The transition shade's going rather nicely, I do say so myself. So just to recap, patting and then blending in. Basically making it stick to that primer and then blending. Oh, that's a really pretty, like, periwinkle shade. I'm not sure if it's coming across on camera the way I'm seeing it in person, but it's a really pretty, almost violet undertone shade where it would work really well with a purple palette. It would be so very, very pretty. Now take the same brush that you did your brow bone shade with and don't re-dip it, but just make sure those two are nice and blended together. Just very gently make sure it's all smushed together, and you can kind of go back and forth until you're really happy with that blend. Now moving on to the next shade, I'm gonna go in with the Abyss shade right here. So this one kind of looks like a transition shade, but let's just see how much blue it is, if I can change this tint a little bit. Because like I said, in person it's a really pretty periwinkle, but I want it to come across a little more blue, which is crazy. I've never seen a really good periwinkle shade before. Like, and it's totally, in the palette it kind of comes across gray, but ooh, this shade's really pretty. You can definitely tell it's, yeah, that's kind of intensifying it. I'm gonna do a periwinkle look soon because that would be real cute. Okay, now going in with my more pointed crease fluffy brush, let's just dive right into Empire. Get it, dive right in, Atlantis palette, ocean. Okay, I'm gonna dive right into Empire, which is the deepest shade. Yes, I'm gonna go there and put it into the crease. Do you see that little tiny flick? That little tiny flick just did that. That's insane. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna wipe that off really quick and get a different brush. And we're back. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my pencil brush instead and apply the color into the crease, and then I'll go back in and blend because I don't want that. That's just too much. That's too much to deal with. Maybe pat it. I mean, the color's intense. It is. It's just so powdery. Like I said in my swatch video, it is a lot like how people describe subculture, you know? But I mean, it's worth it if you can get the hang of it, I think, for a $14 palette. I mean, and the pigments are beautiful, and there's no other palette I've seen that has this presentation, these shades, until Tarte finally comes through. One day, right? We can wish. Does anybody remember? I mean, I follow Tarte on Snapchat and everything, so I look at their stuff a lot, and they were swatching green and blue shades after the whole April Fool's debacle. And then they said something like, maybe your dreams will come true or something crazy, hinting that they are making it, but then I never heard about it again. So, I don't know. I hope they don't wait until next summer, like 2019, because then are we gonna be over it and be like, sorry, too late. That's just crazy. We'll see. Okay, since I have my pencil brush out, I'm gonna be doing a spotlight today, as you guys already saw. So I'm gonna go in with my edges right here and pat it in, leaving a little space in the middle. Just like so. And then I'll just stay on this eye for now. I'm gonna attempt to go back in with that pointed brush I was using when the fiasco happened and just start blending that. Hopefully it doesn't get patchy on me, but we will see, won't we? It's looking pretty good though. Slow and steady wins the race with this eye look, I think. I'm bringing it on this side and gently blend. A little bit of patchiness right there, so I'll apply some more color. Let's take that fluffy brush. I'm gonna dip it back into Abyss, which is that third shade that I use, the lightest one. Just make sure that it's blended really nicely. All right, I'm gonna go do the other eye real quick. Just kind of cleaning up as I go, just because it's gonna annoy me.
I want to intensify that blue, so I'm gonna go in with a dampened brush with Vanished.
I like to use the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. I'm gonna use my angled side, because I can get into that a little bit better. So you can see I'm just pressing it in. No swishing involved, just patting. I'm gonna bring it right up to the crease. Yeah, it definitely intensifies that blue. Looks really cool. Yeah, that's a really pretty shade. I really dig it. It is super, oh, it's super reflective, really pretty. Let's go ahead and put it up right here just a little bit, just so there's a nice transition. Now I'm gonna take that pencil brush that I was using Empire with, the deep dark blue shade, and I'm just gonna blend out that shimmer color a little bit It's looking a little harsh, so I want to blend it together. Oh, and that's looking really cool. It's looking really pretty like that. It just intensified that blue. It's definitely like a royal blue. Fit for a wedding. Oh, it's so blue. Now time for the spotlight. So I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer. This is my favorite thing for doing a spotlight. And if you're trying to find where you want it to go, I just look straight onto a mirror and place it basically above where my iris is. No, my pupil. Kind of both. Kind of more like the pupil area, and then you can make it however big you like. I'm gonna do it just like that. Take a little brush and just blend it out. However big or little you want to have it. Look how pigmented it is. It's changing the color of the concealer so easily. Try to make them the same height and width, obviously. Taking your time. Basically like a mini cut crease, so gotta have patience with yourself. Find your crease and then round out that top. Okay, that actually made a really cool color, but we're gonna apply some glitters. I kind of want to see if I can get away with not using my Stila Glitter and Glows if something else will perform really well in a powder form. So I'm gonna spray my brush, same one I was using to cut my crease, take off any excess moisture, dip it into Tidal, which is that really light shimmer shade. So powdery. Woo! Press it right in. Yeah, that's really pretty. Oh, wow. That's amazing. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Wow. Okay, that looks really cool. Then press it. Wow, that's really pretty, you guys. I'm super excited. Start in the middle and then I scoot it to my edges in there and then blend kind of inwards. That way you're not having to blend out and kind of mess up some stuff. So like this, starting in the middle and then slowly creeping my way to the edge of the spotlight. Hopefully that makes sense. And then going up top and bringing it down. That is some like high impact metallic. Oh my goodness. And then go in with that same brush you were cleaning up, that little pencil brush. Don't redip the color. Just make sure it's not too harsh of a line. You don't want to take away from your hard work you just did. You just want to clean it up a little bit. Take it and then go lightly, same thing as going into the crease, you're going into the outer edges. So slowly creeping up and just blending. Oh, that is so pretty. I'm so excited. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna look at this fallout. This is actually, I cleaned up once or twice, just a little bit. I was expecting a much dirtier situation right here, but this isn't too bad. So I'm just gonna clean this up. Oh, now it's bad, but I'll clean this up and I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup, and then we will do liner, lashes, and lower lash line together. Liner, lashes, lower lash line. Liner, lashes, lower lash line. I was gonna say that 10 times fast, but it actually seems pretty easy. The only thing is blue is so hard to clean up without it getting everywhere. Like, it's everywhere.
This blue is everywhere, screaming infidelities and getting everywhere.
Okay, we are ready for the next step. So let's finish the lower lash line. So I'm gonna go in with Stormy Waters. Yeah, I'm gonna go in with Stormy Waters right here, and then we're gonna lay Poseidon right on top of that. So I'm gonna go in with my pencil brush first and dip it into Stormy Waters. See, I'm gonna tap a lot. Hopefully it doesn't give crazy fallout because that would be sad, obviously. I'm just gonna do the edges again because I'm gonna do a spotlight on the lower lash line as well, connecting the two together. And then I'm gonna take this little flat brush that's kind of fluffy and blend that out a little bit. Now I'm gonna go in with that same pencil brush, dampen it a smidge bit, and then I'm gonna dip it into that shimmery green shade called Poseidon. I'm gonna put it right on the lower lash line, tapping it to avoid as much fallout as possible. Ooh, that's really cool. Blend the edges out a little bit. I got a little bit of fallout right there, so I just take my fluffy brush and try to dust it away. That was really what I noticed when I was cleaning off my face from the fallout. It's not that it's a crazy amount of fallout, it's just that it's like a high pigmented type of fallout. So it may look like little tiny dots, but when you go to wipe it, it's just like blue. So I had to like really make sure all of that blue pigment was gone because it was tinting my skin blue. So going back in with the Urban Decay concealer, doing the exact same thing you did on the top lids and just doing it on the bottom. So just putting it right there. I noticed that for my lower lash line spotlight, it's easier to use my pinky finger. So I just take it like this and just tap it out. And then I go back, just make sure it's a little bit blended. And take that same brush you did the spotlight on top with, dampen it, and then dip it right into that title, which again was that really light shimmer shade. And go back in with that green. Just make sure it's the shape that you want. Just kind of finesse those two until you're happy with where it's at. Okay, now going in with liners, let's go ahead and do the lower lash line first. So I'm gonna start with the NYX. This is called the Slide On, Glide On, Stay On liner, and this is in the shade Esmeralda. Don't poke myself in the eye. I'm gonna put it just where the green is on the lower lash line, just to amp it up even more. Oh, you guys, no! Okay, fix that. That was a little scary there for a second. So I'm just gonna go in with the, now I'm scared, I'm gonna do this. Go in with this right on the edges, and then whatever kind of like nude or silver color liner, whatever, right in the middle. Go in with a black pencil liner, and you can deepen up the waterline in the inside on top. Whatever you want to do. If you don't want to do this step, don't. And line your top lashes however you'd like. If you want to do a wing, do a wing. If you just want to do a basic little line, do a line. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Let's find out, shall we? Alright, I went ahead and applied my mascara while I was doing the rest of my liner. I just used the NYX Worth the Hype, and we're going to put some lashes on top of that. So I kind of want to dabble in these Iconic from House of Lashes again. I know when I first tried them, I was like, well, they're a little bit big for my eyes, but this look is a little bit big, if you know what I mean. It's kind of, you know, has some drama to it. So let's see how those will look. See, I don't like how much it covers up the spotlight. That's a sad story. So I have a couple other ones here. Let's try something else. I don't want to just use my Knockout again. I love using my Knockout for spotlights, but I always do. So I want to try a different set. I'm going to try to go outside of my comfort zone here. So these are the Siren Minis. So let's see what those look like. Those are pieced out. That might be okay. I don't like it when the lash covers up the whole look, and then you're like, where to go? Where to go, where to go, where to go? Yeah, that'll be okay. That's still cool. Okay, so I'm gonna trim these. I'm gonna pop these suckers on, and we will wrap this up, okay? So lashes are on. Not a super fan of these lashes. They'll work, but you know I want to be wearing the Knockouts. But you know, just trying something a little bit different today, but Knockouts would be where it's at. So I'll link those down in the description box for sure, because that's what I would recommend, or something like it. That is the completed look, you guys. Let me go ahead and zoom you out. Oh my goodness, you guys, I totally forgot to do inner corner highlights. So I'm gonna go in with Title really quickly and pop this. I was taking pictures of my eye makeup and I was like, something's freaking missing. And it's inner corner highlights, so do not forget about that. Sorry. Yeah, see, so much better. All right, I hope that you are loving this look, and if you're gonna try to recreate it, let me know, and let me know what kind of look you would like to see next. Do you want a more natural look, like we talked about periwinkle? Do you want to do something like that? Do you want to do, what else is in here? I don't know. Oh, so many, there's just so many possibilities. That Tsunami shade is amazing. Maybe I'll do a smoked out look with the Tsunami shade and like some teals. I don't know, let me know. You guys let me know down in the comments what look you want to see next. Now, as far as my first impressions go from using it for the first time, you kind of saw it throughout the tutorial. I mean, the fallout wasn't as bad as I expected. It's just that it's super crazy pigmented, so when you go to brush it away, it streaks. So you have to not do your face first with the blues, especially. The greens I was doing very carefully, but they still blended out really low. So palette really packs pigment. It's just a little powdery. You just have to take some time getting used to it, and I think you can make this work for you. I wouldn't say it's a palette that you want to use when you're in a rush, except maybe the transition shades. It does take some finessing, but I think it is worth it. All right, you guys, that is it for today. If you stumble upon my channel and you are new here, please go down and hit that little subscribe button and you can join our little fam bam. And to my subscribers, do not forget that I have some looks coming up and swatches of the Bad Habit Aura palette. I'm also thinking about getting some other new launches coming out. If you have any recommendations about what palettes you think that I need to review, also let me know that. I can't get it all, but I'll try to get some of it, okay? And I hope you guys all my subbies, all my non-subbies, everybody out there have a great, awesome, lovely day.